Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about the topic defamation, section 499 of IPC. So shall we start with the topic? So our topic is defamation and it is defined under section 499 of IPC. So first of all we should know what is defamation and what is defined under section 499 of IPC. It says that whoever by words spoken or intent to be read or by sign or by visible representation makes or publish any imputation concerning any person intending to harm or knowing or having reason to believe that such imputation will ruin the reputation of the person. It means defamation means any injury to the reputation of a person resulting from a statement which is false. It means that defamation means that it damaged the reputation of an individual, of any individual, and defamation can be done may be by spoken or by written. Defamation is of two types. One is libel and is slander. It means that libel means it should be through written or any picture or any cartoon in any form, but it should be in written form. And slander, it should be in spoken, means it should be in verbal, it should be not in written. A publish an advertisement in a local newspaper stating false information that the company of B has committed fraud of rupees 20 lakhs. Now, this statement will amount to defamation as this newspaper will be read out by many readers and will surely injure the reputation of B's company. In this case, A has committed the crime of defamation because without any reason, because he has given an advertisement of an false information for which the company of B has been harmed. The very first essential of offense of defamation is that the statement must be defamatory, that is, which tends to lower the reputation of the plaintiff. The test to check if a particular statement is defamatory or not, it will depend upon how the right-thinking member of the society are likely to take it. And the second one is the statement should harm the reputation of an individual. The statement means it should harm the reputation of any individual. If the statement is not harming the reputation of any individual, then it is not the case of defamation. The third one is the statement must refer to the plaintiff. In an action for defamation, the plaintiff has to prove that the statement of which he complains referred to him. It will be immaterial that the defendant did not intend to defend the plaintiff. If the person to whom the statement was published could reasonably infer that the statement referred to him, the defendant will be taken liable. Suppose we can understand this essential with an example. Suppose, for example, if a bank publish a notice to all its branches to not give the loan to any person from XYZ, as the people of XYZ are more often repeated defaulters. Now, due to this, B, a resident of XYZ, has suffered a huge loss. Now, B can hold A liable for defaming him, although the bank did not directly focus on him. So, it is very simple. The fourth one is the statement must be published. It says that publication of defamatory statement to some person other than the person defamed is a most important aspect for making any person liable, and usually that is done. No action for defamation will lie. For example, here it is said that the statement should be published. If the statement is not published, then it is not the case of defamation. And the last one is the statement must be false. It says that the statement must be false. It should not be true. If it is true, then it will not come in the case of defamation. To the defense of defamation. The defenses which are available against defamation. The first one is justification by truth. It means that in the first defense, truth is an absolute defense. If the statement made is authentic, then it does not constitute defamation. Means the statement should be true, it should not be false. The burden of proof is on defendant who is claiming the defense. Means to justify means means the second one is fair and bona fide comment. Here the defendant can avail this defense when he has merely made a fair comment in a matter of public interest. This defense is based on public policy, which give every person the right to comment and criticize without any miscellaneous intention the work or activities of the public offense. And the third one is privilege. It gives the person an absolute right to make the statement even if the defamatory the person is immune for liability arising out of defamation lawsuit. Our last topic is punishment for defamation, which come under section 500. Whoever defames another shall be punished with imprisonment, simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years or with fine or both. Means the person who harmed the reputation of another person, he may punish with a simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years or with fine or with both. Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, kindly like and subscribe it, and very soon we will come with a new video. Thank you.